Hello and welcome to a new video. The Templar Rework is live in World of Warcraft Conquest of Azeroth. They adjusted everything overnight with testing inside the PTR, and I will tell you why this rework is really good for the class. They adjusted talents, skills, quality of life, reduced the complexity of the class while keeping it intact, removed the high DPS ceiling but compensating it with passive abilities. So I will show you everything which has changed for the class. Let's dive into it. Let's look into the changes. They reduced the maximum stacks of oath buffs to 10 from 20. So once you reach 10 stacks now, you can no longer stack any oath. This of course is a hard nerf because it's not possible anymore to stack up for your insane damage increase and multipliers, but it's a good change in my opinion. Argent Blade no longer extends the duration of your oath chain. Now instead it triggers Scorchbane. Also Scorchbane now always critically strikes against undead enemies, and they increase Scorchbane's damage by 100%. So overall, the gameplay changes from stacking up insanely high oath chains to use up your finishers and to increase the damage of Scorchbane with it to basically increase the base damage of your abilities. Furthermore, they increased the duration of Condemn to 21 seconds from 15 seconds, and they also increased the duration of Blade of Faith to 30 seconds from 21 seconds. So both of this means you have to press those buttons less, and that's kinda necessary because now you can't increase the time of your oath chains anymore, at least out of the execute phase, so less buttons to press, and that gives you more time to press your Righteous Lunge. Warrior of Tyr, this is a talent, now has a 100% chance to proc up from 20%. This change is insanely good, especially in combination with the second change here. Warrior of Tyr now generates 10 energy up from 5. So what this means basically is that we never have to micromanage our energy again, because once we set up our dots with Condemn and the new better version of Blade of Faith, we have permanent energy flow, and this allows us to press a lot more Righteous Lunge. So really great change. Also, the base duration of oath chains has been increased to 15 seconds up from 10 seconds. So once again, a change to reduce the complexity of the oath chain mechanic to make it more easy to monitor your oaths. Scorchbane now deals an additional 50% weapon damage. Together with this buff here to compensate the hard nerfs for the oath chains, they give us more baseline damage, which is super good. Blade of Faith, our finisher, now also has a lot of damage increase in it, so it's worth to press this button now, especially in combination with Warrior of Tyr. It now becomes part of our rotation. Reckoning's flat damage increase, I think this is a tank ability, same like Sacred Swing, same here, also damage increase from it. I think it's a tank ability. Rename of Greatest Oath to give the fervor, okay, just quality of life. Divine Stand, another red update for tanks here, so great buffs for Templar tanks. Calm Combatant increased to 50% of your attack power from 30%. It now increases your armor penetration by 50% of your intellect. I think this is a Sealot talent, if I remember correctly. Could also be a tank talent, not quite sure right now, but also an update here. More buffs for Blade of Faith. Now the attack and spell power scaling is increased to it, so it will do even more damage. Really great. Legacy of the Silver Hand. This is a Templar talent down in the tree. Increases our Scorchbane critical strike damage by 25%, was 15%, so even more updates to Scorchbane, which makes it way easier to play the class. Really good. They swap Templar's Might talent with the Holy Temper Swirling Tempest in the talent tree of Templar. I will show you this in a second when we look in game. This is also a really good change, which allows you to use your talent points more effective. Blade Sermon now also gives a 10 to 20% chance for Seer Lottery to trigger twice. This is a Seer Lottery buff, same as the upcoming here with Righteous Upheaval. Really good, because Seer Lot also needs a buff for sure after those nerfs. I'm really happy about this because I would like to try this gameplay style for sure. Oath Chain now increases the duration of your oath chain by 20% instead of flat 5 seconds. This is also a buff if I see it right here. It's also a talent which increases your oath chains. Increase the base damage of Divine Fury here. This is Seer Lottery. Fury of Agrima now reduces the cooldown of your Librams, also a Seer Lottery talent. Divine Fury now transforms Vindication instead of Titan Strike, also a Seer Lottery adjustment here. And here Blessing of Agrima has been reworked. It now refreshes the duration of an active Blade of Faith on all nearby enemies when you use an Oathbreaker with at least 10 stacks of Oath Chains, this is super good for CLO 3 because it makes it way easier to play this. I absolutely want to try this out. They fixed that bug with martial training, which increases the damage of Scarlet Hammer. One with the Light now also works with Divine Force. Might of Acromana also works with Condemn, all CLO 3 buffs here. Condemnation now allows Condemn to critically strike. Once again, CLO 3. One Punch Man, also CLO 3 I think, also increases the damage of Condemn. And they increased the pass stack increase from CLO 3 to Upheaval to 10% from 5. So all of this are super good buffs for the Templar. Of course, necessary adjustments to make this class viable, to make it more easy to play, and to decrease the complexity of the class while removing the insane ceiling for DPS for min-maxers and perfect raid setups, while also increasing single target damage of them, which was kind of bad. I think this is a great way to balance the class, to be honest, and I'm impressed by Ascension's balanced team here. Seems like really good adjustments in theory. So how does this look like in game? First, I will show you the new talent adjustments. The Holy Tempest talent, which allowed you to spread Condemn with Righteous Tempest, got moved. They moved it here with Templar Smite. So Templar Smite is now possible to reach when you go through the tree. I also adjusted my talent tree here, because now Legacy of the Silver Hand is way more important than Testament of Strength in my opinion, because it increases the critical damage of Scourgebane, which is our new bread and butter passive ability. And here's the Warrior of Tour adjustment, which allows periodic damage now to always generate 10 energy, which is super good. So those are basically the Templar talents. Righteousness could be viable now. I'm not using it right now. I need to do more testing for this. So now when we look how this looks in game as a rotation, first a single target, then an AoE, we know when we press Condemn, we get energy back. You can see our Oath Chain is 20 seconds now with the talent together, so we just press a bit of stuff here. I'm not trying to make this perfect, I just want to see how it works in game. So we get our stuff on, Condemns, Argent Blade now procs Scourgebane, pretty good. Doing 3 Condemn strikes here, waiting until my Oath Chain runs out, until I press Blade of Faith. So let's press it now, and as you can see we get so much energy back, it's pretty good. With our stacks running, our energy increases insanely high, our passive damage just goes out. And chest is this, so basically the playstyle circles around keeping your debuffs up now, keep your dots running, press your buttons which come up. Argent Blade now always do high damage, it's no longer increasing your Oath Chains. And we now want to use up our finishers, our chain breakers. So overall, pretty good adjustments in my opinion. As I said, this is not a perfect rotation I did here, I wanted to see how it works, but I think this will increase our single target for sure in the right situations. I have no buffs here, and when we set up everything correct, our damage should be probably around 5 to 6k single target I would guess, maybe more with the right setup. I don't have perfect gear and stuff here, so I think this is a good adjustment for a single target for sure. It takes away the complexity while also keeping the class intact and our DPS in a solid state. Now let's look at AoE, how it affects us here. So let's see, start with this, Argent Blade, the 1 Condemn stack, rocks. Yeah, this feels really good. I mean, we do a bit more cleave here, and as you can see our AoE is still really good. Can do it like this as well. We probably only want to press 1 Condemn in AoE now because stuff dies in between. But overall, our AoE is still solid, I would say. The higher the packs, the more damage you do, obviously. And looks good to me, to be honest. So let's see, press it is. Still solid AoE DPS. We use our Oathbreakers now with Chastise and Blade of Faith, probably to keep it up on the boss as well, while we AoE. We probably want to press Condemn as long as we can hit the boss as well in cleave scenarios and keep it up. So boss stacks here and always 1 stack of Blade of Faith to keep our energy running, and then we just increase our Righteous Lunge in single target and our Holy Cleave in AoE scenarios together with Righteous Lunge during our Oath Chains to increase our damage. This seems to be a good change in my opinion. situation. Complexity is gone. It still has skill seeding because you now have to decide which oath you use in which situation, Condemn, Righteous Lunge or Holy Cleave, but it removed the OP part of the class while still keeping it intact. I think really good changes. I'm really looking forward to test this out in Molten Core. So basically, they removed the insane AoE and oath chain stacking and increased our baseline damage instead. This is a very good change as it addresses exactly what this class made problematic. It's super high damage stacking without a seeding, which can be abused by min-maxers in the correct raid setup while doing horrible single target DPS, together with unnecessary complicated micromanagement of your oath and energy. Instead, now you get permanent energy reflow and you can decide which oath you gain for which situation. It will be impossible to stack it up forever, but you basically set up your dots and stack up as many oaths as possible for the right situation in combination with pressing your Scorchbane procs and oath chain breakers. This simplifies the gameplay while keeping our DPS intact, so those are good changes. What do you think about those adjustments? Are those changes good for the class? Let me know in the comments down below. And that's my overview of the Templar Rework. I will do an updated guide for it soon, together with the Molten Core and Onyxia raid release for gear and also updated talents, once I was able to test it a bit more. I will stream Molten Core raid release tomorrow with my guild on my second channel. If you want, feel free to check out the stream tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. If you found this useful, consider to like, subscribe and hype this video for more World of Warcraft Conquest of Azeroth content in the future. Special thanks goes out to my channel members who support me with the hard-earned real-life money. You guys are just awesome. See you in the next video.